Hi, friends, and happy Thursday. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back into the channel. So good to be here. I hope you guys are having a great day and a wonderful week. Guys, it's almost the weekend. Happy Thursday. We're almost there. Oh my goodness. Guys, are you as hot as me? Oh my gosh, I am telling you. It is brutal. I think you guys are feeling probably what I'm feeling here in my neck of the woods. It is so hot. You know, guys, it's that kind of heat where you just don't want to move. You don't want to exert any energy because you actually have none. Because the heat just absolutely drains you. Oh my goodness. Enough of that, my friends. Let's get into a fun bracelet, shall we? So this will be project 3, my third project from my July sparkle bag, Infinite Skies. And I was thinking of something just a little bit, kind of almost doing a mixed media situation. We're going to do some beading, and then we're going to be doing a little bit of some wire wrapping with some links, and we will put a clasp on it. But what I want to do is I want to do a split, kind of doing like a few little beaded stations, almost like a split, but almost also like doing our ladder, kind of something similar, something in between, something like that, is what's in my head, if that makes any sense, guys. You know, it'll make sense in a minute when we get going. But that's what I was thinking of doing. If you are in project mode with my sparkle bags, this is my July Infinite Skies third project, as I just mentioned. And here is what I am using. I'm using our Moonstone chips. And then I am using, friends, the the royal blue Rundels, the 8mm. Stunning. And then that mix that you got in that sky blue mix, where it has all your different colors in it. I picked a couple of beads, some of these beautiful, like aqua with that gold AB on them, and then some of the white. So these are all 8mm rondelles I'm using today, as well as the Moonstone chips I mentioned. And then we'll use some 22 gauge craft wire, friends, 22 gauge, to do a couple wire wrap links. And my bead stringing wire, friends, today I am utilizing my Beadalon 19.19 strand. So this is a 0.19 inch. It's a 49 strand, as you can tell. It's extremely flexible. I thought this would be a good go-to wire for these Moonstone chips, and it is in silver. You can use any bead stringing wire you want, but I think I need a nice flexible wire and something that was thinner for these little chips, because, you know, the way they lay, right? They don't lay perfectly next to each other. So that's the reason I chose this bead stringing wire. I'm just going to use a toggle clasp and a couple of jump rings. I have some 2x2 crimps out for the magical crimper today, and I'll be using all of my standard tools. So here's what I'm going to do to get going, guys. So let me pull you down, and we will get going here, my lovies. Okay, so I have a piece of my beading wire, right? And again, really flexible. You're going to want to use for a design like this. Something, a 19 strand will work if you've got your soft flex, or a Beadalon 49 strand. That would be what I would recommend for the project, because, again, of these Moonstone. And welcome to my world. Welcome aboard, by the way, if you're new to my channel. If you wondered what that just was, it's my normal thing, flinging things. That's what I do. I fling and I throw things. You know, that's just what happens on my mat, guys. That's how it goes. So that's where, I don't know, we'll find at some future date where that poor little Moonstone chip just flung. So I'm just stringing on, my friends, about 4 or 5 here. Now, I'm not utilizing more of the bigger. I'm trying to find some of the smaller Moonstone chips here. And let me tell you what I did here. So right here, friends, I've got my 8mm Rondelles wire wrapped together. Okay, and the reason I did a wire wrap, I didn't want to do a simple loop because of the thinness of my bead stringing wire. I don't want it to come off, right? So I am going to feed this right directly on there. And I'm going to start with the blue rondelle to give it a little contrast right here. So my wire wrap loop is going to go right there on my bead stringing wire. And we will determine how many chips now we need on each side to do like a beaded loop type of thing, but not quite. We're gonna do like wrap it around and almost like the, as I mentioned, almost like the ladder. So I'm just gonna feed on, so there's 4, so now let's just put on 5. So I'm gonna put 5 on each side. And again, I'm picking up some of the smaller chips at the present. Okay, so I've got 5, but again, they won't be exactly the same on either side, right? Because they're chips. They're all different size and shape. But all I'm trying to determine is how big I want my loop. So I've got about that many on, about 5 on each, and that really is not much of a loop yet, right? So I don't want it to be out of scale with the links we'll do on this side. But I do want that a smidge bigger. So I'm going to try to add just one more chip on each strand. Let's see how that looks. And sorry guys again for any background noise you're hearing. There is a construction truck right outside my window. And fans are whirling and there's all kind of things happening in the background of this hot. This room, guys, is not my new beading room, or my studio is since I've moved, by the way, is really uncomfortable in the heat. So I apologize for any of the background noise, but it's really, really warm in here. Okay, so that's what I've got now. Okay, so I'm going to do this. I'm going to put on my rondelle here, and now I'm gonna switch up my colors to this lighter blue. I'm gonna put one tail going through the bead from right to left, and then this strand from left to right, right through my bead. So then my tails are coming out either direction here. I'm gonna pull that down. I'm gonna try to keep my ends married up as even as I can here, and just to determine if I'm fine with that. If that's a big enough loop. It looks like it might be. I think that's big enough, friends. See, I don't want it to be too large for the scale on the other side. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And now here's another really cool thing. Let me pull this up, guys. We're gonna repeat this again for another run. Do you see how these chips just kind of like when we're doing this ladder style? Guys, this is so cool because the chips, they kind of move about whether you want them to or not. They just have this fluidity and they turn around and move so well on this nice beading wire with our higher strand count for the flexibility and the movement. And then they just are gonna go right up next to that rondelle. I am not mad at that, my friends. Look how pretty, right? It's just gonna have some beautiful movement on the wrist, not too tight, just exactly what I was wanting. So let's do this one more time in the next run here of however many. So we're not really necessarily counting as much as we're really just going for eyeballing the size of our loop. So see, look guys, I put on 3 there, right? And look what's gonna happen now when I push those down. You see how this bead in the center is almost getting like hugged and lost in the center of these chips, but it's just a peekaboo, right? It's just a cool spin on a ladder style. So cute. Loving that. So we've got 3. So let's go with a couple more here. There's 4 and 5. And I'll stop there. I'll put 5 on the other side and let's see how that looks. Oh, look at that one. It's almost gray. Oh my gosh, you guys, I've been watching several of our beautiful beading friends. I was watching a couple of lives the last week or two, and also over on the Speeded Life Jody's channel and on Kyle's channel. I was watching Sam during his lives the last couple weeks. Do you know how good company we are in? We are in good company, guys. There are so many July birthdays. How cool as a cucumber is that? I'm loving it. I was like, oh my gosh, it's like all of a sudden everybody is, and everybody, all the beaders are like, everybody's talking about they just had a birthday. So lots of Leos, lots of July birthdays. That was fun to see that. So there, I just put my second rondelle on, and again, I didn't even count, guys, but I've got 3, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, and I've got 5 on this side because of the different shapes there. I'm gonna zoom in and show you. So just kind of eyeball it with your moon chips, and it doesn't have to be perfect either. Your circles do not have to be perfect, but isn't that fun? There's a very little bit of our beading wire showing through here, not much. So what I'm gonna do, guys, I think I'm gonna do one more. I think I'm gonna do one more, and then I'm gonna do a couple of links. I want it to kind of be half and half, or as close as we can get it. Okay, let me zoom you back out. So yeah, so that was fun. I was like, oh my gosh, there were so many July birthdays. That is so cool. I'm loving that. Loving that. I'm gonna grab some more of my chips here off my strand because I want some smaller ones here. Oh my goodness, guys. What is going on? How is everybody doing? How's everybody doing with their summer? Has anybody been on vacay mode? Anybody taking vacations? Where you guys going? What you doing? My niece has a wedding to go to next month, actually, in New Mexico. I think she's going to be driving there. It's not too far from SoCal. Probably maybe about a 5-hour drive or so. Not too bad of a drive from here. So she was just asking me to make her some jewelry for her upcoming wedding, a party that she's going to. They're going to be doing, it's so cute, they're going to be doing like, not only, of course, they'll be married in the church, and then they're going to do a secondary situation in the backyard. So she's going to be having 2 outfits, and how fun is that? And she's like, oh my god, Aunt Jenny, please, I need some jewelry. Here's my outfit. So I'm getting ready to make her some jewelry. She needs a full 3-piece set, of course, to match. She's wearing a cute jumpsuit that's like white and has this beautiful flower prints of like corals and reds. So pretty. So she's wearing that, and then she's not sure if she's going to go with a little black dress on the other one or this really beautiful blue darling dress that is so adorable for the summer, but it's got some black embroidery in it. It's just really pretty. She's not sure. So I thought I might make her some things out of my July bag here for sure for the dress. That might be okay. That might be okay. It might be one too many on this side. Let's see. So now let's go back to the royal blue. And then let's see here. So again, guys, I'm putting one strand going through the bead going one way, the other strand going through the bead going the other direction. And then pulling. And that's how we get that effect. Well, that is cute as a cucumber. Love this. Love that. And I think I might want to stop here. So I think what I'm going to do here, I didn't give this too much pre-thought, my friends. I think what I might want to do is maybe we'll end it with a crimp. But I was thinking maybe we'll put maybe a couple of Moonstone just to hug this rondelle. Let's try that. Because I didn't really totally pre-plan. Let me find a couple of small ones here. And then we'll just crimp the end there. Let me see what I can do here. No, that's a little big. Let's do like that. Yeah, you know what, guys? That might work. That might work if we do that. Let's do 2 on each strand. If I can find the right sizes here. And let me see if that's gonna work. And then if we put them together, yep, we might have only needed one on each strand. Let me see. Let me do some investigating here and see what do we need to do here. I don't know. That's definitely a judgment call, guys. That is a judgment call. You know, we also, friends, I was thinking about doing this and then putting a chip through. Let me give you my ideas here in a visual. So I was going to put the strands together. Let's put a moonstone down. And I was going to crimp it off, right? Which was kind of my go-to idea. But then there's another part of me Yep, there's another part of me that wants to almost end it with a beaded loop. And then we can add the closure right here to the bead stringing wire. Kind of the way we started it. Or we just can crimp that off. We could do that too. We could do that too, guys. And just make an actual beaded loop on this side. Let's see. Let's see here. Let me get some more of these nuggets on. Maybe just one more small one here. Okay, and there's two on this one. Let's get a couple on here. And I'm going to pull these together and see. That might be good. That might be good. That might be good right there, guys. Okay, so let's do it that way. Okay, let me pull you in and show you the method to my madness. Okay, guys, let me push this stuff out of the way. So here's what I'm going to do now, guys. I am going to feed on a crimp. And I'm going to do the same thing I was just doing with the center beads of the ladder here. So I'm going to put my crimp tube on my bead stringing wire, right? With this tail going this way. And I'm going to do the same thing we were just doing. So now this tail is going to go this direction through my crimp. And then we'll just end it with a beaded loop. And so now you see we have our tails coming out each side of the crimp here. And we'll go ahead and pull. And this will just end up looking like part of the design. We don't want this to be too tight. We definitely want to have some movement. We can tighten it up a little bit if we need to kind of put things in place. But I don't want it to be too tight. We want to have a lot of fluidity and movement here. Okay, and then I'm just gonna kind of get a hold to these wires here and hold those in place where my crimp tube is and get my magical crimper in here. Right in the center of that bead. I'm gonna pull each side a little bit more. And just enough space to get my tool right in there. And we'll give that a nice squeeze. And we have our ravioli. And then we'll try to get that shaped without disturbing our moonstone chips. Yeah, I think this was a good decision because then we can just put our closure right here. And there's some symmetry on this little portion. Now we're gonna go ahead, let's do some flush cutting. I'm gonna get right up in there and get rid of that and that. And so now my crimp tube just becomes like part of my design. This looks like a little round bead. So this is what we've got going so far. Now we are gonna continue to move on down the line here with our wire wrap loops. So what I'm gonna do here is grab my round nose and the 20 gauge. And we're actually done with the moon chips. Let me get stuff out of the way, friends. Okay, and let's get some 20 gauge wire. And we'll straighten that out. And let's get some cutters here. And I'm gonna cut 2 pieces of wire. I think we need at least 2 links. And warm that wire up a little bit. And we'll cut that. So again, guys, I'm working with some 22 gauge. So I'm gonna go down just about an inch or so. And we'll put our right bend in. And then we're gonna go up on the top, pull that wire up and around, push the wire to the back, and we'll straighten that out, and we will wrap that around. See if I can get 3 clean wraps. I almost shorted myself there. If we get 2 wraps in, that's fine too. Let me see what I'm doing here. Squeeze that together a little bit. And looks like I got 2 wraps in, and we're gonna have to call it at that, but that's good enough. No problem. And then we're gonna put this bead on, and then I'm gonna tuck in that burr. I don't want any pokies in this beautiful bracelet. Guys, it's been a long time since I designed a bracelet from start to finish. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so we've got that going for us. And we'll do the same thing over here. We are going to put our right bend in, and then come up and around, move the plier for the pressure to go on top of the wire there, and move that wire to the back. Before we close that up, we're gonna go ahead and open that up and attach it to the previous link. And we'll wrap that up. Close the door. And we'll go ahead and wrap that guy up. And trim. Trim and tuck. So pretty. This is shaping up to be so pretty. Love my bracelets. Love my bracelets, guys. I see, by the way, guys, my August bag, Hot Days and Neon Nights, is at many of your doors or already been delivered. Boy, that was, again, super fast shipping. I hope you guys are opening up your bags and getting an explosion of metallic color and neon, and loving so far what you are seeing in your bags. And we will be getting going probably in about a week on that sparkle bag, friends. I'm still working in my July bag, but maybe what we're gonna do is go back and forth, friends. Maybe we'll go back and forth between the 2 bags to get you guys some inspiration. Maybe that's what we'll do. So I think I need another bead. I think I do. I'm pretty sure I do. Yes. Okay. So I might need even 2 more beads. So guys, I'm just going to continue this for at least 2 more beads. And let me get a couple more pieces cut off. I think we need at least 3 more of these links. So I'm going to get 2 more pieces of my wire cut off here. And I'm gonna grab a couple of more rondelles. So I'm gonna grab one more blue, and then maybe a white. Or a clear even. Ooh, a clear might be pretty, guys. Maybe we'll put a clear in there. Let's go with those three. Those three. Let's do those three. And same thing, guys. I'm just going to go down a little bit. We'll go to the end of our pliers. We'll put a right bend in there. Come up at our angle and get that wire pulled up and around. Pull you in a little bit. And rotate. Put the pressure of your plier on top of your wire. Push your wire to the back. And we'll go ahead and wrap that around. Do a couple of clean wraps here. Squeeze those together a little bit. And then we'll trim the excess, put our bead on, but on our next wrap, we will make sure to open it up before we close it. We'll wrap it to the previous link. So, same thing. I'm gonna go to the edge of my plier there, put in our bend, and then come up to about so, up and around with the wire. Move the tool, push it around to the back. We'll open up that wire and slide it on our previous link. Let that fall right inside that loop. And I'm going to close the loop and wrap that around. And trim and tuck. And I'm going to make 2 more just like that, guys, and then we'll add the closure and finish off. Okay, friends, I just finished my last wire wrapped link here, and I did end it with a wire wrap loop. And so I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I've got 6 links all wire wrapped to each other here, and that is directly my bead stringing wire. We've got 4 stations of our moon chips there, right? And so now, guys, I'm just simply going to add my jump rings and my clasp, and I hope you guys enjoyed. I really, really love this project. It's a very soothing project, to tell you the truth. Love, love, love. Just, you know, doing wire wrap loops. You know, I could sit here and do them all the time. It's kind of a fun, like, just calming, peaceful. I enjoy it. So making my little wire wrap loops, just had fun with that. So I've got already a 6mm jump ring on this side of my total. I am going to put that directly on, maybe we'll go this side. Let's see if maybe it's better on this side, probably. And we'll make sure that's close. Now, if I need to add any length here, we are gonna do that with jump rings today. So I didn't want any more of the moon chips because I don't want it to be too heavy, right? So that's heavy enough. It's kind of lightweight. I wanted it more lightweight and in scale with the beaded links on, or excuse me, the wire wrap links on the other portion of this style. And now we'll grab this part of the toggle and we are going to open up this jump ring, open it nice and wide so we can get that right there and where that crimp is, and we'll get that closed. You could probably also use an oval here if you wanted. I think I might need another jump ring. I think so. That should be fine. It should not fall off. It should be good there. We use the magical crimper, and it really, the jump ring is really just moving about where the crimp is. It's not on the bead stringing wire. So I'm totally fine with that. And I think I will grab one more jump ring, friends. And I think I'm working with some 6mm here. And that way I'm not fussing around that moonstone loop there. So we will add another jump ring, and then let's put this portion of our toggle on, get that closed, and let's see if it works. We'll do the trying test, or do we need to add some length? Okay, that's good and closed. And so that's what we've got there. And let's do the try and test here and see. Ooh, that might be good, guys. That might be just fine. In fact, well, okay. Here, let's get some gravity involved here. And let's see here. What's going on? What's happening in my world here, guys? Let me see here. What is your issue? Okay, well, clearly you're gonna go through. Okay, let's try that again. I mean, you know me, guys. I do not like to struggle putting my bracelets on. I am not the one to struggle. Okay, so there we go. So I might add another jump ring here, friends. Just because I don't want to have to go through that again. So I might remove the jump ring off of this side and put it over here. I can do that off camera. But that's what we have. That's what we made, friends. Look at how beautiful. Isn't that fun? So pretty. It's got a lot of movement and it's lightweight enough. Just love that. Isn't that pretty? Guys, I can't even get it to move around because I'm so like sticky. And also I just put a bunch of lotion on. But anyway, that's what that looks like, friends. I love this. I hope you guys enjoyed and you were inspired for Project 3 for my Infinite Skies. Guys, I can't even talk or get it together. It's so warm. I mean, I'm telling you. Obviously, heat on the brain. Anyway, guys, there we go. There is our final project. And I hope you all will make one of your own. So beautiful. Love that. Until the next one, my friends, be blessed.